inviting us and allowing us to be a part of this exciting event. This is our first Solution Summit with ACDI, with Epson. I've been in the industry for the better part of 20 years, so I've been partners with Mark, Josh, Matt, and the team for a number of years, but fairly new to Epson. And so what I thought I'd do today is kind of give you a quick walkthrough, probably scratch your head going, Epson, you may have heard of them, but what are they doing here at the ACDI Solution Summit? So quick show of hands, how many have heard of Epson before? Okay, good. All right, so we're been in the industry for a number of years. I would say still relatively new to the office part of printing. You know, our background and history has been in other parts of the industry, and so I thought I'd give you a quick walkthrough of what we're doing and the exciting things and what I'll call disruptive technology that we're bringing to the office printing market. So about 4 years ago, in 2015, we created a 10-year strategy that we call the Epson 25 Vision. And this was kind of centered around the Internet of Things, where we're producing information and products that are compact, efficient, and precise technologies. And so we identified 4 core pillars or areas of our business where we were going to focus on to grow the business over the next 10 years by year 2025. So the first area, starting from right to left, is in robotics. So if you think about Epson and where we got our history and our start, we started off as a watch company. So Seiko Epson is our parent company. So if you think about how to produce a watch, that's a very precise and compact device. And so we created robots for the manufacturing facility to create our own products. And they were so good that we ended up commercializing them and bringing them to market. So that's a core area of focus that we're leading towards. Wearables, again, so around the devices that we wear day in and day out, whether it be watch technology, smart glasses, etc. That's another core area of focus. Visual innovation, so you see projection. Epson is a market leader in projection technologies, so one of the core pillars. And then last but not least, inkjet innovation. And so our approach to the market is different from others, where we're coming to market with an inkjet portfolio, both A3 and A4, and really taking the market by storm, and I'm going to show you how in just a minute. Really, that strategy is centered around a technology that we call precision core, and that's at the heart of the printing system and what makes us unique and different from everybody else in the industry. Precision core is a heat-free technology, so it requires no heat to print, so there's no fusing, no warm-up time, etc. So there's a lot of key advantages to doing that in a very simple and elegant way of printing. Now that technology spans our full portfolio of products. So the reason why I asked, who all is familiar with Epson, you're probably familiar with us in the retail. So our products are sold within the consumer level products are sold within Best Buy, Staples, etc. But what you may not know is we've been a leader in inkjet for years. So at the very high end of the market, the textile space, we produce products that print directly to fabric and directly to garments that cost upwards of $1 million. So $1 million industrial printing presses. We're also well known in the label printing industry, with our sheer color printing devices. And then wide format. We have a very broad portfolio of wide format or large format printing products as well, where we're known for our graphics and high level of image quality. But then that leaves one last space here. So office. Office is an area where obviously is a very dominant part of the industry. And actually, if you added up all those other spaces, textiles, label, signage, they wouldn't be as big as the size of the market for the office printing. Office printing is roughly about $14 billion market. And so that's why we're saying, okay, we have very unique and compelling technology that we're now going to bring to our partners for the office space. So a little background on why inkjet is so important and why why we see it's the future of technology. So if you look at studies and actually history has shown where inkjet has gone, it is dominating. So now, actually last year, 2018, 95% of placements for consumer shipments were inkjet. Wide format, same thing. 96% of placements that go out are inkjet. If you look at production and other segments of the market, that's forecasted to grow over the years. And again, that's because of the advantages that inkjet brings to the table, from low cost of ownership, ease of maintenance and serviceability. It's a single-step process as opposed to a multi-step process when it comes to printing, and the broad range of media that we're able to print on as well. For the office, obviously, we know laser's been around for a number of years. My background was in laser. I spent about 20 years with a company prior to coming over to Epson, and so I was always taught to sell against inkjet, why inkjet was bad, until I started doing my homework and actually researching specifically what Epson was doing and the technology that we brought to market, and I became a quick believer. And it really is going to be disruptive, and if you haven't seen it yet, you'll start to hear about it more and more. I was pleasantly surprised to see all the logos up earlier when Matt showed the partners in the room. You may or may not know, we're talking to a lot of your dealerships today with the leadership and management team. So I think this is useful and helpful information for you as well, to know that our products work with paper cut and a number of other solutions already. So out of the box, we're ready to integrate. So if you believe that inkjet is the future, then let me tell you a little bit about why we think Epson is that partner to go to market with. Really, our core principle is about innovation and creating and producing and delivering technologies that we feel become mainstream and a part of everyday society and everyday life. That's really our go-to-market strategy is. And we're an integrated, fully integrated, vertically integrated manufacturer. So we produce all the technology in-house. So we're not looking to others to help leverage their capabilities or whatnot. When we decide to go after a market, we go all in. And history has shown within Epson that works well for us as well. So specifically to print, we have a very bold aspiration, if you will, to become number one or number two in the market in the coming years. And as I mentioned earlier, we've done that time and time again, and we know that formula and how to make that work. If you look at projection, we're the number one market share leader in the world for projection technologies. And actually, if you go in the education market, we have 70% market share, so 7 out of 10 schools use Epson projectors. Point of sale printers, so you go into just about any retail grocery store outlet or Starbucks or etc., and you see that receipt printer that's sitting next to the point of sale system. That's an Epson printing device. So next time you go get a cup of coffee or you go to the grocery store and they ask you for a receipt, you say, I'll take 2, take 3, please. Photo scanners, number one market share in both photo scanners and photo printers as well. Super tape printers, which is a newer category of product that's been introduced into the market that allows the system to run for years on end without actually having to have much intervention. And then scale robots as well, number one market share in that space. So I think you'll see here we have that formula. We know what to do and all the right moves to make, and so we're looking to do that here in the office printing industry as well. We got our start in Japan, so we're a Japanese-based company in the mid-40s. Our first printing product was produced in the mid-60s, though. So the World Olympics were taking place in Japan. We were the official timekeeper, and they commissioned Epson to actually be able to produce a product that could print the time trials. Up until then, they were all handwritten. So Epson produced the world's first printer, digital printer that could print out the time trial information. Little known fact about the size of our company. So $10 billion in annual revenue.